morning, everybody, and welcome to a possibly lovely Tuesday with my game being all the way up. Though on this resolution, it's pretty difficult to see what's going on. What I believe I'm going to do here is time-lapse this video. Where I will showcase a bunch of different grinds. As you can see, I've made quite a bit of progress on rune crafting, which is inching its way into 72. I'm going for 73 so that I can get a 78 boost. And once that happens, we will be set for achievement diaries until we need to grind out our 77 for Fremennik. So yeah, the way that you end up making GP off of this method of troll is runite, granite, shield drops, some rune warrior hammers, but these Alex definitely add up. You don't want to miss them. It can be easy to miss if you don't have add-ons. But it's also still great range at XP. It's over 100,000 per hour, and it is around like 30 to 40,000 Slayer XP per hour. So it's actually an extremely powerful. Yeah, amuletic chemistry, guys, good item. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be splitting this up. I just woke up, but I'm going to try to make this ramble as good as possible. And since I'll be time-lapsing, I'll probably be doing some Guardians of the Rift, and we'll time-lapse that. That'll be the bulk of my commentary, and I'll probably cut that out and splice in some of the footage that I grabbed the other day, which included some ZMI. That's actually how I got to 70 from 67. I just straight up ran ZMI with Dale Essence. Gotta be honest, I don't totally mind ZMI. Also, we're gonna take these steel plate bodies now because of Foundry. Armadillo crossbow coming in strong in a place like this. You see, you do get smacked pretty hard, obviously. Which is why this safe spot is so powerful. I believe I found this on an obscure YouTube video a long time ago. Alright. Same with the adamant items, because we'll throw those into the foundry, because we are not going to here, let's do a home teleport. I'm going to bring those to the foundry because we're not going to bother alching them, but they will act as adamant bars, and that'll be pretty useful. I mean, I really enjoy Foundry. I really want to do it, but I really want to get some of the worst grinds out of the way first. I want to kind of make Foundry my last one. Also, reminder to edit out my bank pin, of course. To Roman, that's a weird. Let's just drop that in my general tab. My bank's getting a little cluttered, but with the Alex, you can see it's not that bad. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, okay, that looks like a better arrangement. Plus that, and these are worm bones, place those. And that looks much better. Okay. Alright, we're all set. So, let us now strap up for our little farm run. actually have an ISR down, so let us start using most of our snaps and other high tier herbs. I want to bring them down to like 2s. I mean, not 2s, to about 5s maybe. We'll also do our fruit trees. Our inventory will be a little cluttered, but that'll be okay. We're not even on the correct spell book. Why don't we go do that though? What are these runes? Oh, I was lunar contacting. We will switch over, but we're gonna take our dust runes with us. Let's also throw on our graceful set. See, this is the type of stuff that I think I'll try to somewhat cleanly edit out of this video. I hope the clicking is not getting picked up too high since I have kind of a higher gain. I'll try to switch my clicking between my keyboard and my actual mouse. He's probably talking about beneath the cursed sands. I got some oolong tea steeping, so I'm going to be sipping on that pretty soon. Okay, so let us start off here with our home. So I don't remember if I got this on the recording or not last time, but ornate is done. Actually, I know, because last one was the mahogany home, so boom. Ornate is finished. We have a new Gatherby teleport. We are actually running out of ultra compost, so we're going to be sulfur mining pretty soon. And yeah, I think I have a lot of Ranar and a couple Avento planted. I should have a lot of Ranar planted because I don't have any in the bank all of a sudden. I don't know where they went, so I feel like I must have done a run of about 5. We're getting pretty good though. Nice RNG. Guess we'll wait until later to pick the coconuts and do all the herb runs first. I'm gonna let this tea steep for another minute. Maybe let me take a sip. It could use just a little bit more body. It's like I said, oolong tea, very authentic oolong tea. Not that you could get too ineffective or inauthentic, but you know what I mean. It's very proper, very whole leaf oolong tea to the point where it literally, like, here, you know what, sorry. I'm gonna continue to farm my limpworts. I like grabbing limpworts. You know, it could get to a point where if I totally overdose on them, I will be able to make Taroman, and that'll just be straight up free XP. That probably won't happen though. But yeah, I think it's fun to start some of the videos off with farm runs. Okay, already been treated with ultra compost. Interesting. Farm runs are fun. I can always put timestamps in to skip them and break up what kind of grinds you're watching. I definitely won't be time-lapsing the farm runs, although maybe I will. I know that's a good question. You guys will maybe have to let me know if you like to see time-lapse farm runs. I know, like, you know, the reason time-lapse content is kind of a draw for me, and I think for RuneScape content, is because, you know, there's the whole aspect to, you know, the grinding on RuneScape is absolutely intimately related to satisfaction, and when you see it happen faster than it's supposed to, it's, you know, you're triggering those XP rates in your head. And it might not be as extreme as obviously getting the XP yourself. Yo, I totally did not plant anything, but that's why we have unlimited Lumbridge teleports now with the hard diaries, am I right? We'll do a Cadentine here. Actually, we'll do the other Tourstol here because of the increased XP rates. And so that we could remove a slot. Now let's just go do Mauritania. Yeah, I'm also very close to the quest cape. There are only a couple quests that are like actually semi-long, such as the Rag and Bone Man will take a little bit of time. True Romance really not long at all at max gear. Making friends with my armor is going to be a bit of a long quest, but it'll kind of be worth it because I don't know how teleportation methods are going to work for that disease-free patch. I don't really believe there are good free teleport options, but I'll at least unlock it. Not that I need it too much because I have so many ISR seeds. Since I've been kind of playing a lot, I've been taking this time to get my ISR seeds out of the way and, you know, in effect do all my higher level herb. All the stuff that, you know, you have to get concerned over being diseased. Let me just check something here. March. Okay. We'll do a quarantine. Okay. But yeah, with the ornate pool, my POH really is dripping. I mean, I'm sorry. The superior card and the theme I got set up, it kind of drips. So I was correct about the Wherein I. So my prayer pot stack is going back up. I'm getting ready again for demonics. We definitely blew through well over 100 just to get one Zenite, and it goes super dry on the second one. So here's to trying to avoid that now in the future. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna hit the compost because we keep forgetting to do that. We are going to get our cactus, and then since Hespori may or may not be up, I don't have a chrono seed, so I don't know for sure. We're gonna do all our farming guild stuff and finish up our tree run. In fact, I may do I may finish up the tree run before I roll out. So I did have an addis seed going, which are much better for collecting these types of materials, but when something doesn't have too many lives in the first place, like I believe a cactus only has 3 lives at maximum, at minimum, they have 3 base lives, and then you have chances to save, which I am saving, obviously a shit ton of lives. It's a lot of cactus, fine, just to pick off of one regular cactus. You know, that's what happens. So I got 16 with a minimum of 3, I believe. With an added seed, you have like an added 5% chance to save a life, which sometimes you don't even pick enough for a 5% chance to really get factored into an average. It's like on herbs, it doesn't make much of a difference. On herbs, you're better off using an ISR seed, because at least then they're almost never going to get diseased. You could really up your yield, especially if you're farming things like Tourstol or Dwarfweed. Anything higher than Dwarfweed is like an actual pain in the ass. I'm getting pretty close to leveling up here, but I refuse to plant more fruit trees, which maybe is a stupid idea. lazy with the fruit trees, and like I've said before, this is kind of coconut gathering time for me. There's gonna be a lot of coconut milk in my future. We're gonna see how many coconuts we have at the end of this, but I think it's gonna be a good amount. Almost 300 likely. It's our last fruit tree, barring the Brimhaven, which we're not gonna do. Because it's kind of out of the way, and then the farming guild. Okay, so there it is. Let's see here, we had a contract of snape grass. That's really interesting. Let us, we'll pick this. We're not going to plant anything because I have a habit of planting before I get the contract, and it ends up being an herb contract, and everyone loses, including the guild. As you can see, there's a nice and fresh Isosaur plant. I think I did that last night on the refresh world tick. Once again, I have no limpwort. I try to be good about them. I'm not so good. I don't check the health on that. I don't check the health on the Gauss history, which actually is not even done. So let's pick this coconut and let's check things out. Let's try to see if his spore is done. That's a no, because the little thing is closed. The pod, if you will. Okay, perfect. So let us check out our spoils here. In terms of coconuts, which are, yeah, wow, okay, I actually have a lot more than I thought. Cactus vine are also doing well, but that's around what I had guessed. But that's pretty good. Ooh, also, we have been farming belladonna now for nightshade, which, don't forget, you need gloves to harvest. And you can see we actually have a good amount of nightshade saved up, 90. Which is like the XP of a ranged pot, so we have like 100 ranged pots sitting there. Just really awesome. Did I pick these? Why do I feel like I'm losing my mind here? I don't remember if I picked these. I must not have. Okay. So yeah, it's a little bit more realistic of what you're gonna like to see to get from cactus vine. Here, if you're not aware of this, this is the double harvest trick. If you spam click, you will eventually start double harvesting, which works pretty well. I believe this works on all allotments. It's not something I knew about. It's a really nice way to make XP. Also, now that I have an Isosaur seed planted, I probably don't need to protect my maples. Here, you know, I should replant snape, obviously. But yeah, I probably don't need to protect my maples. I probably will anyways, just in case. Nah, I don't know. Well, I also don't want to waste my ultra compost, and super compost might not totally cut it. Aha, I see some catentine. But yeah, no catentine. In fact, this was like such a bad... This was actually a really horrible farming contract reward. That was some garbanzo there. It's a good thing we saved those catentine though. And like I said, we absolutely need... It's not what I wanted. We absolutely need some... Man, I forgot what I was gonna say. see this yew tree here has actually been health checked before. Okay, just had to make sure. Let's go do belladonna. See, we have a train or a man or teleport for it, which is pretty perfect. So you see, these harvests are also pretty big. Now there's another situation where high resolution is fucking preferable. Oh my god. Yeah, this is another situation where harvest is pretty good, but made much better with Addis seeds. Not that Addis seeds are the best, but depending on what you do. Like, see, that was a pretty good yield there. You could get a minimum of 3. With Addis, you could, look to get 3 or 4 more, even. I'm done with all my dailies, so let us regroup. Let's do our tree runs. Maybe we'll even do fruit trees. First, let's do a calquat tree, even though I actually do not do these anymore, like, at all. They're kind of a pain of a run, but they've been made a little bit better with the introduction of my POH fairy ring. I'm upset there's not a closer teleport, I guess. It's all good though. It's hard because calquat are literally 13,000 XP. It's like, how do you pass that up? With the amount of days I've missed, it's kind of scary to think how much XP I missed out. Definitely the rest of this level, but it's okay. I mean, at this rate, farming levels are getting... Farming XP, I should say, is getting a little, maybe quote-unquote devalued because you're not really benefiting too much anymore. Oh man, it's not even done. I'm getting fucked. Yo, is that a joke? Okay. I'm gonna have to cut that out clearly. I don't want you guys to see that. Okay, now it's time for the tree runs, I guess. Let's take the runes out. Let's get the maples. Yeah, I mean, I got maple seeds, so fuck it. I mean, I have a lot of baskets of oranges. Why don't we do 3, and then we'll do 2 super composts, and we'll just kind of run our luck that way. I mean, doesn't that sound good? Sounds good to me, guys. So let's hit up Falador first, for no reason in particular. Maple tree runs are kind of underwhelming. I also just learned about this self-chop here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like tree runs that much. I don't think maple tree runs are, like, totally worth it. I mean, they are worth it if you don't really mind doing them, but for someone who has, like, a serious, aversion to doing them, it's kind of fucked up. So this is actually a huge tree. We we grabbed here, which, you know, I'll never pass down. These are a little bit more worth it, guys. More XP plus U roots, obviously. You need those. And an Iron Man, it's pretty hard to get antidotes, at least early on. Too bad we gotta replace that lovely yew tree with a pretty garbage maple. We'll drop these for now. I don't need logs, I guess. I will say the run is much faster now that I know about the auto chop. It's kind of a lifesaver. Kind of broken even. We'll do 2 super compost. Did we do lumberage, guys? I don't even remember. Feel kind of silly that I don't remember. No, we did not do lumberage. Okay. So what are we gonna do after this? So I narrated all of this. So I'll probably have to narrate some general goals. I mean, this is already like a 27-minute farming run, which is kind of funny. I mean, maybe I'll have to break this video up, since I did all that ZMI shit at a different date and whatnot. And this is already pretty long. I kind of wanted to time-lapse ZMI. So I think I'll do some Guardians of the Rift, get some footage of that, and then sync it up at some point later. I could just split this into 2 videos. Maybe just make this a cool example of what I do on my farm run. You know, relaxing, bossing number, whatever. That's not gonna work, okay? You know what we're gonna do is, we're zooming here. But yeah, this is a kind of a full farm run for me. I'm not always doing full farm runs, but I have the ISR seed up, so I kind of gotta take advantage. The only thing I'm not doing are fruit trees right now. I mean, at the end of the day, there aren't that many fruit trees that are like great XP. Another yew tree, perfect, guys, awesome. Yeah, there aren't too many fruit trees that are like totally useful XP wise, considering they only grow once a day. I'd say pineapples are the only thing I'd settle on. I do papayas when I start doing them low level. I always do palm trees. I ran out now, and that's why I've been pretty hardcore collecting my coconuts. I know you can collect them from Kirasks, but it's not nearly as stable, nor is it favorable, because Kirasks shouldn't really be killed off task, and they're a pretty rare task at 90 Slayer. Okay, good. No ridiculous tree for all this. And we'll super compost this. Okay, that was pretty simple. So once again, we have just one more thing to do. We have our birdhouse stuff. Then we are done. We'll take 2 dig sites because we also have some seaweed spores to plant, guys. Can't forget about the seaweed spores. I know I have 88 crafting and quite a bit of seaweed, but I don't technically have enough seaweed for the end goal, which is 93 crafting. I need to definitely more than double what I do have, but, well, actually that's not true. I probably need almost exactly double what I have. Because it's a 1:6 ratio. Yeah, I've got about 2,000 giant seaweeds. That's 12,000 sand, which is, like I said, anywhere from like 16 to maybe 22,000 molten glass. Plus the XP you get from glass making it, which is pretty big at the end. That's a few thousand glass. Maybe not as much now that you do light lenses. there's a faster way to get to the seaweed, but there isn't. See what happens, guys. I don't usually make that mistake anymore, but that's common when you first start playing. You know, doing your seaweed runs. Oh, and we also, of course, need to pick up a Slayer task at the end of this, just to see if we'll be engaging in another relaxing bossing by chance, you know. So you see, I've actually gotten pretty lucky on seaweed spores here. And by the way, magic secateurs do not help your rate of getting these. So now that I don't have Addis, oh, that's another thing, Addis seeds, of course. The more lives, the better. Well, giant seaweed has a lot of lives, so Addis seeds actually do tend to be very visibly effective almost every time. You could get hundreds, not hundreds, but you could get over 100 seaweed very easily, very common. Maybe I could expand the scope of what a kind of farming run encompasses, since I already have kind of with the bird run and this, and maybe I could do some sulfur mining on camera as like the wrap up of this video before I work on my rune crafting adventures. I think that'd be nice. I won't mine too much sulfur on camera, but that'd be a good thing to time lapse, I guess. Well, it could be hard because if I don't have too much to talk about, then I can't time lapse it. I'll have to talk for longer than I mine the sulfur. So that works. I guess I will be speeding up the seaweed maybe because the seaweed is very long. There's certain things I could definitely speed up. The only problem is, of course, my sounds will be desynced. I'm not sure I necessarily want that. I see Maltlicky's rechanged his name to Sendas. What a fucking legend, oh my god. It's the rank 1 Slayer, by the way, if you don't know. Okay. And then we're off to the Slayer task. Got that angle mixed up. So yeah, so what am I hoping for Slayer? Pretty easy. Black demons. I am so not in the mood to be killing gorillas, but I am also very frustrated by the fact that my late game progression is being totally stunted right now by not having Ring of Suffering. Like, that is the biggest thing I'm missing. And Tormented Bracelet even. Which is not like incredibly strong without the occult, but it is, you know, it's big. Oh my god, Cave Kraken. Like, are we joking here? I'll probably do it because I need the tentacles, and it's not bad. AFK. It's even something I could kind of. Maybe that's where I could get my commentary for the rune crafting video. Nah, what am I saying? I need to rune craft. I don't know what I need to do. Isn't that so fucking rough? Doesn't that just kill you? Let's see then. Yeah, how much stardust we have. We had. Let's bring that down to a crisp 800. Charge this. I don't even know if this works on sulfur. If it doesn't, we'll have to unplug it from the mainframe here. Grab us a Dixie. I did not mean to teleport. Okay. said, I don't know if this crystal is, or if the ring is effective. I know you could pull double clay, but clay is kind of like coded to be an ore because of its original status. So let's see, we're getting 4s. You know, in fact, I don't even believe that, yeah, okay, so it's not even counting. That's fine. We don't need too many, maybe just a couple hundred, since we gotta at least grab what's in our super compost, or else we're gonna run out, and then I'm gonna lose motivation to do. Also, I don't know if these are kind of random, or if it works on like a depletion system, but maybe we'll go to a depopulated high skill world and check it out, see if we can get a little luckier. Otherwise, we would just get pretty unlucky. So yeah, so if you don't know, I believe 20 volcanic ash makes 30 in the ultra compost bucket, and 15 makes, no, and 10 makes 15 in a regular compost bucket. Okay, so unless I got something illusory going on here, this does seem to be working on like a replenish system, and someone must have mined that other world. I think. We're gonna see here for sure. Nah, I don't know. I mean, it definitely works on a system where you're kind of saving lives, but maybe not quite that same way. Something I definitely want to work on soon is volcanic mine. A part of me really wants the fertilizer. However, you know, I would honestly much rather just have the bottomless bucket, because you know, doubling your ultra compost would turn this into something that's like part of the enjoyable grind, whereas doing farming runs on lunars is kind of like a pain in the ass in and of itself, because you miss out on some useful teleports if you're not going to be running tabs. And I hate running tabs. You need at least 2 house tabs, which is rough. I think technically you only need the 2 house tabs, but you know, if you're doing farming runs multiple times a day, you know, it's still not bad. Make a couple hundred house tabs in like an hour, suck it up. Still, it's actually a long grind for the permanent ultra compost too. It's not like the 8-ball mole grind where you're just kind of done pretty quickly. It's very long. It's very, very long. So fun fact about the pickaxe and the dragon pickaxe in general is that I don't believe pickaxes work the same way as like levels do for fishing, where it increases your chance of getting an ore flat. I believe the way pickaxes work is that it shortens the amount of ticks that it takes for you to roll as to whether or not you get a rock. So a dragon pickaxe, I believe it you know, runs on, I believe, 3 ticks, just like every other pickaxe, or maybe it's 4. No, it's definitely 3. But then it has a chance, I believe a 10% chance of ticking at 2, which is very nice for materials like this, where you are guaranteed to mine it, so that when you hit that 2 tick rate, you will mine it. So you see a much clearer benefit for using a dragon pickaxe for things like essences and ash piles and other such items. I also gotta be honest, maybe drinking caffeinated tea right as I woke up wasn't the best decision, because I feel pretty nauseous. I feel pretty stomach issue that I physically suffer from, which is paralysis of the actual stomach, the upper GI system, which stores food that is being currently digested before it moves into your intestines. So, with stomach paralysis, you're supposed to get nausea because, food is not being properly moved. And, evolutionarily, that sometimes means that our body has identified a pathogen, and so we vomit it up. That's not quite what's going on, though. It's not autoimmune or anything. But, you could just see how it would, I don't know, how it might turn into nausea for your stomach to not only improperly empty, but to suffer from, like, a stasis of improperly emptying. In that case, even when you don't have food in it, it's still not, I don't want to say correct, but yeah, it's not right. It's messed up is my problem. Now there are, I believe 93 mining or something is, when you start getting 5 per mine, which is like super far away. I'm not really interested in grinding for that. I will say though, look, I am interested in grinding volcanic mines simply because I know it's kind of like the best XP per hour in the game, and I like blast mining, but blast mining is a pretty poor way to get runite ore if you just hit the threshold of being able to blast for it. I only got, I think, 15 ore over the course of like 300 dynamite, which is pretty low. I was being told I could get up to like 40 to 60. You also see here I got quite a bit of ash so far. This will translate to a little over 300 ultra compost right now. I think I'll keep going and keep rambling since this should be time-lapsed a bit. And in all possibility, I will actually cut out a lot of this, and this will give me an opportunity to time-lapse some of the earlier farming content. It's also good to kind of maybe cut this video somewhat soon, because the nausea for some reason has got up to the point where like I actually feel like I might vomit, which is pretty interesting. I think a dab is going to help that, so I'm going to do that. I worry that some of my other medications can be causing that. Hey, look guys, I think I might actually like go to the bathroom and vomit right now. I know this is not very ASMR, but we're gonna yeah. I'm gonna leave this in here so that you can get the whole subject experience. Obviously you won't be able to hear anything. Whew. Okay, but I'm back. I'm centered now. And I'm here just grabbing as much volcanic ash as possible. What task did I get? I totally forgot because I just grabbed it, didn't I? Here, sorry, let me go turn off the bathroom fan from when I threw up. The fan already automatically turns on. You can probably hear it. This is definitely the most volcanic sulfur I've mined in one sitting. And on that lovely, lovely note, I'm definitely just going to cut it there for that. So I don't want to do Ardoin because here first, okay. I'm going to minimize obviously our items, what we need these for to be replanting. And then we need the volcanic. And let's start with Explorer's Ring. I hate that the rune pouch is being used because you want to maximize. Nah, I shouldn't have even done that. Whatever. Okay, no, we do need secateurs. Okay. And that's it, right? That's all we need. Nope, skills necklace. Mauritania. Okay. So let's start off with the worst of them, which is the farming guild. I don't know, maybe I'll try to like cut/edit these in such a way that you guys are also able to follow along with some of what I'm doing. I've synced videos up like that before, and it can get a little bit difficult because the audio is not something that's inherently synced up. But like this, for example, like me filling the ultra compost, this is absolutely gonna have to get sped up to like a ridiculous extent because you're not gonna sit here and watch me. I can pick up compost out of the bucket. I don't care if I'm on your second monitor, your 17th monitor across the street. It's not gonna happen. This shit is whack content. And so yeah, I don't know what you guys do. Like I know a lot of you guys use like the half coconuts sometimes as ultra compost and whatnot. Like all that works. But you'll never run out of snape grass, I don't believe. Let me pull up Google here. God, I still cannot believe I threw up in the middle of this video just totally randomly. You're never gonna be running out of snape grass because the fishing potion is the only other thing that uses it, and you are not going to be making fishing potions with it. So what I do is I just set up constant snape grass, and this works a little bit differently if you actually farm them like for XP, but I don't because they take too long, and some people agree. It's just kind of a hassle even though the XP builds up over time. And I will plant cycles and I will remove compost and then I will refill it with the snape grass. And it's a pretty perfect system. And right now, for example, we can't do that. So you know what? Here, let's take a page out of their book and I'm gonna test here. And we actually don't have any coconut halves. Okay, we're gonna do our maple roots. I cannot believe this limpwort died, guys. What is the death rate on a limpwort? Normal compost ISR, like what? Come on, guys. But yeah, super energy potion, slightly, here, actually, I don't think I need to finish. I don't think I need to do the full watermelons in order to complete a farming contract, if that's something that I got. So let's just give that an attempt there and finish it with that because I'm lazy. This should be our 30. Because, yeah. Boom. Ectofunk this time. So yeah, this is funny, and I know I can't show you guys my timers because it'll fuck up the aspect ratio, but if you went and looked at my timers,
you'll see that this run has actually been going on for so long. Like a true late game farming run is actually such a long process that many times the rest of your herbs are also done. Some of your secondary herbs, like my cacti, are going to be done. I'm going to go re-get those. Pineapples are not the same, though. Pineapple fruit trees are not the same. It'll take longer. And, herbs are really the only thing that aren't going to get done. It's like I've been doing this for about 57 minutes, this whole farm run, which is a lot. Most people don't want to farm that long. I don't mind it. Like, I don't mind waking up and doing it, or going to bed and doing it, or just relaxing. It's a good way to parse up certain grinds. I think RuneScape would look totally different without farming an herblore. Yeah, it's definitely just one of my favorite aspects of the game, for sure. So we're going to do what I said here. We're going to plant these snape grass. We have ISR seeds up, so we're not going to even bother protecting with jangerberries. Nor do I even have that many jangerberries left. Take out 15 once again. Not energy. Yeah, exhaust it anyways. Wow, a completed limport. And that's still all we got. Come on, y'all. So yeah, I mean, as you'll see, ultra compost is super easy to obtain on an Iron Man. When I actually found this out originally, I was totally surprised because I figured, especially because ultra compost is like 1K. I think it used to be more expensive. I think it used to be like actually 1K, even though that is still expensive, 854. I used to think to myself, why is it in like that middle range where it's a necessary commodity, but it's still so expensive? Like you didn't see the same thing with super compost. So maybe part of my thinking, I wondered, maybe it's something that requires maybe a sort of buy-in, or it is run from like some sort of mini game or boss at an upper level at like a very high rate, and that might explain it too. I think a good example of that are like, I believe chaos runes were totally fucked in price after, I shouldn't have noted this. I believe chaos runes are actually totally fucked in price as a result of the Kraken release. Am I wrong about that? Wow, so that was actually ridiculous here. I didn't even have enough to fill it up, but I'll come back next time. Nah, I don't know if his drop rate on chaos runes had ever been changed, and that doesn't make any sense because I feel like you've used chaos runes, but I swear something was released, and it totally like 30% nuked the cost of chaos runes, and that was a big thing. Maybe I'm getting that mixed up because Trident might have been a way to combat that situation. That's definitely possible. More dead limpware. It's actually insane how often I see them dead, even with protection. Sometimes I really tend to just not want to grow them. I'm never gonna have like 500 quorum anytime soon, so it's not something that is bothering me too much. So yeah, farming is just pretty nice on an Iron Man. It's a longer process, and it's a necessary process. You don't need to farm on a regular account. I mean, you do if you want to do, they made a way of making normies having to do iron type content, like farming and herblore and whatnot, where usually these are things you could substitute with a central economy. by putting like potions and raids that you have to make, like the Overload Plus is a 90 herblore thing. There are certain other low-level requirements for like raids, like while you're inside the raid, things like that. And then obviously quests. But overall, there are a lot of skills that are actually only really totally viable for Ironman to be doing. Not viable, but like useful or necessary. For 812, yeah, it should have been exactly 15 or one off. Also, if you're listening through this, I feel much better after vomiting suddenly. I think that was the caffeine. So what happens if any of you are, if any of you suffer from GI, this is something I've talked about, but if any of you suffer from GI issues, and in particular you suffer from, I'm going to replant this fucking limp word. If you suffer from acid reflux, you may know that caffeine, like, actually fucks you up. Like, it's not, or at least it's not because the caffeine itself is acidic. I mean, maybe it's an acidic solute, maybe we'll make some sort of solution acidic if added to it, but that's not what's going on. It's more so, and this is coming from like a layman medical point of view, that I'm not talking about, it's not like an autoimmune or like histomatic response, but it's really that your body is rejecting the caffeine in the sense that for whatever reason it triggers an over like extreme production of acid, and in turn, it does this because, I don't know, I guess it, your body assumes, oh, there's something crazy to digest, when in reality this is, just a chemically induced response. But the end result, you could get pretty sick because your body is like really fucking convinced that you just ingested like a chicken bone and that it really needs to take care of this, or else you're gonna end up with like, an intestinal blockage and your appendix will blow up, like some serious evolutionary type stuff. And at the end of the day, caffeine is a natural poison. It's not a poison for us, which is nice, but it is a poison, so it's not totally out of the realm of sanity to think that it might be able to trigger adverse effects within our body, even if it's not poisonous. Just like chocolate can have certain effects on people, although definitely not the same. But even with chocolate, there is a dope. Yeah, there is still the same level of like acid reflux with chocolate, but that's also because cocoa itself, I believe, is pretty, is like actually legitimately an acidic thing, but whatever. And the last one is I believe there's actually a compost bucket somewhere over here, which is not something I've ever heard of. I wonder if it actually works. My farming level is getting pretty close to leveling up here. I could even do some teeth farm. Teeth farm is like a classic, it's a classic ramble activity for me. It's where I did some of my, not better, but like I did some of my more fun literature rambles. 100 Years of Solitude, War and Peace, which by the way, I only have like 40 pages of 100 Years of Solitude to read, and of course it's not that it's gripping, but like, I don't want to be cliche, but a part of the book, like, really, yeah, I know there's a compost bin around here somewhere, don't fuck with me, jackass. Here it is, I know. Yeah, it messed me up in in a lot of ways. Okay, so this is not a real compost pit. So that's it for our compost runs. I believe that's everything. We're not going to go to Ardoin because we want to save... if we had our dream and stuff, maybe we would just run. But yeah, we want to save our last teleport for our final herb run, which is actually probably coming up. 31. Oh, it's actually done. This is so funny. Okay, guys, well, let's go to Ardoin. Let me just check the timers here again. 31, okay. Maybe we forgot to do this one all together in that case, because that's kind of funny. Let's give the bucket load a break here. Yeah, sometimes I'm really bad at counting 15s here. I don't know why. I know that's 16. What am I doing? We're not gonna... Well, why not here, right? We're doing our farm runs. See, that's what I'm talking about too. It's like the wave in farming is self-efficient. It's kind of funny that if you're doing everything, you'll be able to cycle it a couple times before you're finished. Not quite sure that my birdhouses are up, but still. I'm also pretty set on poison ivy bees, which is poison ivy berries, which is the only reason why I wasn't like, yeah, whatever, let's go get these. I probably have over 400, and yeah, this is going to take a long time for my nightshade to catch up, and it will never, my nightshade will never be ahead of the poison berries. Once again, guys, what the fuck's going on here? Are we serious with this? That looks like a Ranar. What is the Kraken? What is the Kraken pet drop rate? You know what's interesting too is I remember soft clay. I remember the soft clay economy got destroyed. Maybe if you guys remember, like, maybe not 2020, maybe like 2018, 2019, old school RuneScape. Maybe you guys remember the soft clay deflation. Let me know which boss caused that, because I swear, like, I remember Kraken kind of as being the source of both the chaos and the soft clay. But Kraken doesn't drop any soft clay, and he doesn't drop nearly enough chaos to justify an inflation. Because he drops like, what, 150 chaos, or is it 250? 250? Maybe at like max level, max magic damage, you're not averaging 250 per drop. That's definitely possible. But even at 91 magic, I feel like I'm out using the chaos. No, I definitely am out using the chaos runes. I know that anecdotally at this point. Yes, this is pretty dope, guys. We're doing pretty good. I know the devs have, this is going to be stupid of me here, but the devs have argued for the longest time that farming yield is not affected by your farming level. You know, farming yield isn't like assuming it actually grew and whatnot. The only thing that is affected by your farming level is the chance for a plant to die. Now, I don't know. I have always been slightly skeptical, and I think that's funny / weird, because I don't feel like they would be intentionally trying to like give us misinformation about the efficacy of farming levels. But at the same time, I would really, and maybe this already exists, but I would have liked to see someone have a very anecdotal, a lot of anecdotal, a big anecdotal cache, so to speak, to maybe speak to that statistic. Now, of course, giant seaweed, certain allotments, they do have discrete, like base amounts that get harvested on discrete level brackets. But aside from that, it's supposed to be just random chances to save. Who really knows? Only the devs. Possibly only Gower himself. So, yeah, that herb is not done yet. Let's see here real quick. Birdhouse, they're not done. So yeah, I did my whole farming run without any interruptions. If I did have any interruptions or anything, like a couple minutes to take a dab. I guess I did vomit and mine, but vomit if I could mine silver. But yeah, I also need to try to stop swearing in my videos, even though they're whispered, just to not tickle the algorithm too hard. I don't want to test it. Also, let's take this time and chop down this yew tree. Do we really want the yew logs, though? We've got 102. Look, guys, we'll chop it down, because you could always use some yew logs. And who knows, maybe there will be a day down the line where we are totally destitute and have, God forbid, run out of... And we'll also, we'll replant a yew and just not... oh, see, that's nice. 340, I like that. Yeah. Let's also do a calculation when we got this. Yeah, there might come a day where we run out of magic locks. Probably not, though. That'll never happen. Because I have so many and I'm making some. So, okay, let's see. Weapon poison plus. These are the ones that are made. Oh, wait, no, these are not the cactus vine ones. Sorry. No, wait, they are. Of course. So, this is a 165 XP. Herb. That's kind of, or potions. That's kind of ridiculous. So let's do that by 340. That's 56,000 banked herb XP we have just in cactus spine. Now, of course, you need the red spider eggs and the coconut milk. So that's a lot of coconuts. Okay, I'll give you that. That is a lot of coconuts. And then it's going to be the same thing with weapon poison plus, which also is based in coconut milk. Now I can't find the weapon poison plus on RuneScape. Isn't that ridiculous? Yeah, no, this should be a... Yeah, it is coconut milk. So, again, you know, I have a lot of coconuts, but do I really have that many? No, not exactly. And, I don't know if I have any coconut milk either, which means I use all of them for antidotes. So it's actually kind of funny how difficult coconuts seem to be to farm. I wonder what kind of luck I would have farming coconuts at Karasks if I really needed to, because I seem to be never getting tasks. Just look up coconut farming, maybe on a topic, and see what people say. Karasks, Zolra, I see. Okay, Zolra. I think I was actually maybe told about that. I am going to be farming Zolra soon, but I need a Ring of Suffering. B, I would really prefer a Bracelet of Torment, because we could bring our max hit up by 1. And that would just be so big. I just don't understand why I'm getting so unlucky, guys. I want to cry. I am crying right now. Tears are water falling down my eyes. Yeah, what are we looking for again? Coconuts? Zolra doesn't drop coconuts, dog. Yes, she does. 20 noted. 2 times drop on the 1 in 41 table. Nah. I'm not going to be farming her that quick, guys. Come on. People also said Callisto. He's kind of a coconut kind of guy. I could see him maybe dropping big bulks. 60 noted on a 1 in 64. That's not that great. Callisto's kind of a pain in the ass to kill. I have not killed him. I believe some of the only viable methods for him, because of his high defense, are straight up Varix. could Dragon Warhammer him though. The only problem is Dragon Warhammer on Callisto is probably not keen to drop, especially because his crush defense is actually it's extra high. And his range defense is extra high as well. He's got, here, I'll show you what we're working with here. We got, and that doesn't totally fit there. Come on now. I don't think I can get that to totally fit. I don't know why I didn't just do that. Guys, I'm sorry. It's because I vomited. My brain goes to mush. But anyways, while I cut this stupid tree, see, we have a defense stat of 440. Now, I want to show you how, like, this actually compares mathematically for those of you watching. Maybe I'll put this at the beginning of the video because I want to do a video on this. This is not the exact math. There's a constant that's going to be added or multiplied to this, but I want to show you roughly how these numbers are going to scale. So if you have 440 defense, you have a roll of 440. That's with 0 defensive bonuses. Say I have an attack of 93, and I have a slash bonus of, let's say, like 120. I think that's a little high, but yeah. So I have a roll of 11,160 versus 440. I am pretty much always going to succeed this roll, especially because there is a contingency that I don't want to get into that makes the higher roller more likely to succeed. However, you know, the reason high defense levels scale differently with stats is, now let's delete these. If you have 440 defense and you have a, let's say, a crush bonus, defense bonus of 175, we're suddenly looking at 77,000. So that's 7 times larger than my attack roll. However, even if you look at just slash, you're looking at almost halved the defense, but it doesn't look like that, right? With a defense level of 440 and a crush of 175 and a slash of 104, it looks like it's so much closer to my attack roll, but they're really not. They're leagues away. And you'll see it's even worse with range, where you do 440 times 230, and now we're in the hundreds of thousands. Now we're 10 times. But if you're looking at this from a purely additive point of view, why is this tree taking so long to chop? You will see that that is the reality of the math we're working with. Is we're working with a funny sort of multiplicative scale. It's not additive. Even though the multiplicative nature doesn't always matter too much, because sometimes these numbers get factored out depending on what we're rolling for. MATLAB does not need to open up right now. Yeah, it's still important. And at this rate, guys, I'm going to be able to do another herb run. What the hell's going on here? It's taking so long. But still, I'll cut it up there, because I'm probably gonna do my next herb run while I record some vocal ramble over ZMI, because I think I got quite a bit of ZMI footage. I probably got like an hour or more of some random stuff that I want to narrate over in time lapse. So look, guys, I'm gonna end it there. I love you. I know my tone kind of changed a bit throughout this. It's because I threw up in the middle. It's big adrenaline. It's unpleasant, but it's like, we're back. We get to relax. We get these U roots. Perfect timing, dog. We're definitely gonna replant this. Don't want to risk having a U tree die, even though we have an Iosaur. Don't do it. The chance is not as low as you think. I've had it happen multiple times. Okay, well, let's just see what we can do. Birdhouse is done right now. Let's just finish up these bird runs. Like, why not? This video could serve as like a good example as to why, I don't know, maybe an example of how like upper level farmers, how they find it kind of so easy to just sort of farm to their 200 mil. Like, some people get pretty crazy like that. it's because you can actually kind of work yourself into a farming cycle with just a couple other tasks, and then solely dedicate your what am I trying to do here? I need my seeds. And then solely try to dedicate the bulk of your time to just doing farming cycles and cycles. Like, I know if you're training farming, potato cacti are pretty big sources of XP. I think you just harvest them. It's like, what, 67, which is pretty big. Like, you do birdhouses in between, which, you know, that is a major contribution to your herblore XP, which is really big. And obviously your farmer, because most people don't like farming. I know iron need to farm their chinchompas for armadillo, but I'm not going to go kill armadillo anytime soon. And if I do, it's most likely going to be a 1 kill count for the frozen key piece / diary. And I won't need to Chen method for just a single kill count. I think some diamond bolts will suffice. I'm trying to get diamond bolts with the ACB. Although farming more God Wars bosses is kind of an enticing idea now that I have ACB. It's one of the... Look, it's not one of the weaker items, but it's been outclassed by some of the upper tier items of the ranged world, especially like the fact that Bofa is just sort of immediately accessible as soon as you decide to grind the content. It's insane. Like, I don't think it's broken or overpowered because it's definitely not easy content. Like, not everybody is going to be able to do it, that's for sure. I don't consider myself to be like a good